All right. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Antayami here, back with another video. And in today's video, we got some test hands to do, baby. But first, I wanted to show off the deck list real quick before we get into test hands. I'm not sure how many test hands I would do, but as long as we get to like the point of, the test hands and stuff like that, we understand what the deck does, then we can go from there. A couple of changes, and just again, this is for the next format, not this current format, obviously, because we're playing with the new cards. I'm not gonna go over card by card why I'm playing these cards. That's gonna be in another video. But I want you guys to at least see the deck list, and we'll go through the combos and we'll talk about it as we go through the combos and stuff like that. So but yeah, I just got off playing Malice, losing the die roll and clapping them. Like clapping them. I didn't even draw Nib. I didn't draw Lancia. In game 2, I did get shifted, and thrust into Sanctum is broken. So I'm a big fan of that in the side deck right now. I want to put in triple of the Slayers, but right now, as far as how my side deck is, again, this is not perfect. This is basically version number 2. Going into the YCS of Orlando, so more things to change and come, and you guys gonna notice that the side deck is probably a little strange. You guys can cut this for Caesar if you want to go for the Caesar line, but if you're going for the Caesar line, you definitely need to play the Fiendsmith trap. That's something to note. But I am going for her, which I'm going for the Desiree line, and I'll hopefully can showcase how we can make her through our combos and stuff like that. All right, but anyway, without further ado, let's hop in to the test hands. All right, so we are here right now, and I'm showcasing Dueling Book because I like the, I don't have these cards in real life. I have proxies, but I'm not doing all that. I rather just show it on Dueling Book, and just doing it raw, so we can talk about some of the decision making, maybe playing through certain hand traps and things of that nature. So yep, let's go ahead and hop into it. So our starting hand is, let's just think about it in draw phase first, because we do have the Wanted, right? So yeah, so here we have Azet, Fororos, Baylor, Rusia, and Wanted. So some things to note here, especially when comboing and playing through certain hand traps, this is very dangerous, right? Because like if you go draw phase Wanted and this somehow gets ashed, then you have to think about like your other plays here. But if this doesn't get ashed, then if this gets ashed, then we're still in the same predicament. So we might as well go draw phase this. A lot of the times people don't even interact with the black stuff anymore, or Black Witch. They usually wait until like Imperm or the Acid Deception and things of that nature, because you can get punished by another Black Witch. So typically you want to like do this in the draw phase here. There's certain scenarios where you would not do this in draw phase, and hopefully we get those test hands, but 9 times out of 10 we're doing this in draw phase, so to play around draw, of course. So we're going to add Black Witch, and then we'll move over to main phase. Then we will pitch this for Black Witch and then activate the effect. Then we are going to set our Deception here, and we have 2 lines here in this scenario, right? So we could either go Deception, Tribute, Valor if you really want to get risky, and I feel like it's worth the risk here, because we have so many like other pushes and stuff. Or you can go Black Witch, but let's go for the more riskier line that gives you more, right? So it's not really that risky, but yeah. So you go Valor, and it was stuck here if they get Ogre, because I mean you still have like normal summon and you still got like these or whatever, but Ogre at this point is the worst case scenario, because this is like your only spell and you want to extend with having spells and stuff. But anyway, so we have Valor, we're tributing Valor, we're going for the Hollow Azamina here. Then after that we will go into this, sacking this off, revealing, and we're going to reveal Arceagulo. Now, this effect will activate, and there's a couple things you can do here. So you can go, I feel like in this particular situation, you could just go into this right here. Again, this deck has so many crazy lines. You can actually go into this if you like. Probably not necessary here. So I think going into the Azet here is actually fine. So we're gonna add that to our hand. And we're on 2 summons here. We want to make sure we keep track of how many summons, because there's a certain point where I would like to play through Nib without getting, you know, destroyed. But in this particular situation, actually here, we're just gonna be safe here. We're gonna put this back, and we're gonna add this because this is a simple spoils. So let's just add this for now, because Azet can technically, you know, search for something else. So what we're gonna do here is that we're gonna link these 2 off into our moon, and that's summon number 3. And then we're gonna activate Hollowed by shuffling back these 2. And again, this is still summon number 3. This is gonna be summon number 4. So we're gonna special summon Azet by getting rid of this, and we're gonna search. Now we can search for this, and then this is gonna reset itself because it is a white forest card. So this is gonna be set, summon number 4, and then summon number 5. Now this is the reason why I'm playing this card. It has a lot of functions, but what I've been noticing a lot with this card in particular is that it serves as like ways to get into your Azamina stuff with like the hollows and stuff. So like even Sylvie can search this, which is really crazy. It helps you, you know, have more simple spoil cards in rotation. There's times where I do use this as an extender, or I can use it as going into this guy as interruption and stuff. And sometimes you go into the sometimes you do go into the actual, like these guys. I actually summoned this and it was really good. So it has multiple purpose, and I'm not playing Guardian Chimera because it doesn't come up enough. That's why I wanted to test it. If you're playing through a lot of hand traps, Guardian Chimera is really hard to make because you don't really have the resources to make that, and it's just hard to keep up with and stuff like that. So Guardian Chimera is cool. You can play it, you can test it, you can figure it out. But in the version I'm playing in, it's not worth it. So anyway, we're continuing. So then now we are gonna go into our Omni, which is going to help us play through Nib in this particular situation. So the 2 ways to play through Nib in this deck is either going to Synchro 6 before Summon 5, searching Woes, and then if you get Nib at any point, then you still have White Forest affecting Grave, summon itself back, plus the trap card, and then you can still technically have an interruption through that through that interaction. Or you can go this card by Summon 5 and you're protected through Nib. So these are the ways to beat Nib, and things of that nature. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue. We're going to Requiem. Requiem effect is going to summon our Lacrima. Where is our Lacrima? Lacrima's effect is going to activate. We're going to dump an Engraver here. And the biggest reason why we play Necroquip is why we play 3 Fiendsmith in the deck is that if we open Fiendsmith, we can actually get an extra draw off this, and drawing in this deck is always welcome, right? It's always great. So that's a thing. Also, there's lines where you can actually, and we're gonna, at least we can see if we can make it to it. We're gonna go Necroquip here, and sometimes we keep this on the end board. And the reason why we keep her on the end board sometimes is that the fun fact is that this card interacts with Necroquip very well if you discard a monster. So you can get a draw off her effect even on your opponent's turn if you keep her face up. That's just as like super extra credit. That's when you like ultra don't get hand trapped or whatever. But it's just something to note, and it's very funny, right? But no Caesar in this. You can threaten like you have Caesar, but there's no Caesar in this build because we're going for the Link 4 play, which I think it's still pretty strong. So anyway, so we have our Necroquip. We're gonna keep our Engraver in our graveyard until like when we go into sequence, because now we have enough lights for, you know, Desiree and stuff like that. So let's continue. We're gonna activate the effect of Azet in this situation to summon herself, and then we're gonna special summon Arcia. Arcia, you can actually, I keep saying her name wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm saying her name wrong. Sorry, Rusia. Sorry. You can actually, if you want to, instead of going into necro equip, you can actually equip like this. In certain situations. And let's just not go for the necro equip line for this particular situation, because I feel like in this situation you probably wouldn't go for it. You can actually equip Requiem as a spell and a trap, and then continue your plays here. So let's go ahead and do that right here in this situation. We're going to go for the Synchro 6. Synchro 6 is going to Chain Link 1. Chain Link 2 doesn't really matter in this particular situation. Depending on what card you really want to search, you want to Chain Link 1 that. But we're going to go Chain Link 1 that to send Requiem. Chain Link 2 to search. Oh, even before even doing all this, let me back it up again. Sorry, there's a lot to go along with this, and I'm not like super familiar with all the combo lines. I'm good at it. I'm just like explaining it is a little funny. So even before then, let's do Wanted first. Getting the early Wanted draw and recycling this card is very important, because we're going to search that card again. It's crazy. It's crazy. You see that card a lot. It's crazy. You think you're using it for an extender or whatever, but you're also using it to just recycle it. You cycle this card a ton of times, and it's crazy. So we'll just draw into this right before we go on our plays. Now we synchro into 6 here, because we want to search that spell card again. So now we go into this line here. We're sending this, and then this is going to be a Chain Link 2. Chain Link 2 is going to search out our this one, only one that's worth it. And why this is very important is because now we still have like Deception to set itself back, so we don't have to recycle this to, like, you know, hopefully we draw into another Deception. This is coming back on the end phase, so that's why it's great to get the draw off this, and then this is still follow-up, so you just get more bang for your buck in the situation. So yeah, so let's still finish resolving this, which is going to search for woes. So now we have access to both our spells here, or both our traps and spells, which is really, really important here. But yeah, let's keep continuing, right? So next we're going to go into our Synchro 8, and Synchro 8 is going to activate. And if you really want to, you can actually add this back if you like. There's a lot of things you could technically do here, but in this particular situation, let's just add this back for sake of like haha funny, because, you know, why not? Because this is going to reset itself back anyway, so now you get to start with this and then recycle back something and then start again, so it's probably worth it to do that. Then I think in this particular situation we're going to go into do we want to start our Fiendsmith stuff here? Let's just go ahead and Fiendsmith stuff right here. So we're gonna summon Engraver by shuffling back our Moon, and then let's just go ahead and link these two off for our sequence effect. Now, if you start with Engraver, there's a line where you keep Lacrima in the graveyard, and then on end phase, you can actually bring back your Desiree. But hopefully, we can start with Engraver, or I'll probably set up a hand where we start with Engraver, and I can show you what that combo line looks like. So then we go into this, and then we link these off, and we're gonna go into our Agmon, and then we're going to activate a White Forest monster effect. So we're going to summon this back by shuffling back this, link these two off for our new Link 4 here. And then now what we can do is, funny enough, her effect also works really well with the forest cards because it's a cost and it's a monster effect. So you can actually send something like Woes by banishing it itself, and then we can bring back this. Woes is going to trigger to set itself back here, and then now we activate this effect. We're gonna move it to the spell and trap zone, summoning our Engraver, and then now we can equip this, and now we set this, and then on end phase this brings itself back out. So this is kind of what your inbar is going to generally look like if you combo, and sometimes through hand traps you can still achieve this like particular line. This is what I'm looking for. Now there's some lines where if you like, I think if you like open engraver and stuff like that, you can actually end on this too. So this is kind of like what inboard you're looking for in particular. You want to have the Omni here, you want to have the Synchro 8, you want to have Desiree, and then a lot of times you want to have her as like extra interruptions. And if you actually, again, extra credit, Necroquip Princess is here. You can use her effect to discard like something like Azet, and then you can pop a card, or you can recycle, you know, Black Witch, or you know, whatever, and you can get into like more hand traps and stuff like that. So it's like really good here. So well, that's that. So that's test hand number 1. Let's see if we can go ahead and do test hand number 2, and hopefully we get something that's like ending on this, or just like different combo routes. So let's just see what happens. But yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the content so far. Like, this deck is really hard, and the reason why like it's very tough, because there's not a lot of top players that believe in this deck, and there's not a lot of tournament results per se. I'm one of the few people that got tournament results in the last format with this deck, but we are testing the new format, and this deck is very hard because this deck has a lot of 2-card combos. Like, you need Toy Box plus something else, or you need Azet plus Spell. Like, there's a lot of 2-card combos. So like, this deck is really hard to like spreadsheet a lot of the times, and you can still spreadsheet it with 2-card combos, which I probably will end up releasing the spreadsheet. And I will work on my particular build. But if you guys want me to do pure without the Fiendsmith stuff, which I think pure has a lot more flexibility with things of that nature, so you can fit in more things like Zapper Shrimp, and you can fit in things like Arc Light, and you can do things just like a lot of cool different things, and you can pretty much max out on your White Forest cards, so you still have the consistency, you still have a ton of push, but you just ultra get cooked by Droll. So that's just like, you get you know different inboard, no Desiree and things of that nature. So yeah, anyway, so here in this particular situation, we're gonna start with Azamina here, and then we're gonna chain this. We're gonna search for our lone Black Witch. This is gonna send this to the grave, and we are going to summon this. Now, unfortunately here, we're not gonna have access to our White Forest stuff, because unfortunately the Azamina cards don't really bridge into it very well. Unless we like randomly draw into it. So hopefully we can draw. So we're gonna use her effect, and then her effect is going to actually, I think we are going into Deception in this particular situation. Where's Deception? So yeah, we're gonna add Deception here. Or better yet, we can just add this. I feel like it's safer to add this because it's a quick play. And then we can use Black Witch effect. Oops. We can use Black Witch effect to actually send this. And now we go into Deception here. I don't know. I just feel like I like that better. Set that. And then we're going to activate. And then we're going to Tribute. And we are going to search for our Azamina. Okay. So then after this, what this is going to look like is that we're going to just basically go into like the Black Witch, or sorry, the Fiendsmith engine here. So we're going to go Fiendsmith this. So summon number 3. Then we're going to add this back to the hand. We're going to go back to the extract with this. And then next we will go into Hollow Azamina, sending this. And then, or if you want to, you can probably in this situation send this if you like. And this will become like, you know, gaining light points or whatever if that comes up. But let's just get rid of that for now. So now we have an Omni Negate, we have full Fiendsmith combo, and we're gonna see if we can get lucky with the draw here. So we're gonna banish this. Well, first of all, you wouldn't even do that here yet. It's actually better to a Fiendsmith combo, so we can slim our deck down by a big margin. So this, and then we all know how the Fiendsmith engine works. We're gonna eventually dump this off of the the Lacrima. Summoning this, and then we're going to dump the engraver here. So we have all this. So now we were going to banish this, put this at the bottom, and then hopefully we draw a Sylvie or something crazy, an Ezet or a Stellar, something crazy, right? Even a Tails would be a good draw here because we want to see White Force Engine. That's why we slim our decks, baby. So then now we have a normal summon here. And then that's actually just insane. So that will go into this. Or again, if you want to, this is why I love the Fiendsmith engine. Also that one trap that we just spun back also can summon out your Fiendsmith monsters as well. So it's just because it says fiends. Like I know because this is a fiend, and this is why I like this card with the Fiendsmith stuff, because you can fusion into it as well, and it also helps going second a lot. So it's good. So yeah, so we can actually go into Necroquip. I'm still learning because I want to go Necroquip here. I don't know. But yeah, that's the option here. If you're lacking a spell, you can actually use Requiem as your spell here. So let's just not Requiem yet. So then we're going to use Stellar's effect to send Deception. Deception is going to, not Deception, her. She's going to summon back out our Sylvie. And then Sylvie effect, it's going to add our Tails. Then what we can do here is that we can synchro here. And then synchro into our 6. And then chain link 1 this. It's going to send this. And we're going to search for our woes here. And then she's going to trigger because, you know, a spell was sent by monster effect. So that's going to trigger. And then we are going to actually activate this, bringing it back this out. And then now we're going to synchro into this so we can get more things going here. So we're going to activate this. Oh, I forgot to reset this back. Sorry. Chain links, by the way, chat. Chain links. So yeah, this was supposed to be set here. Where's the set? Here. Now, if you really want to, even okay, so this changes a little bit here because let's bring back this and summoning this back out here. So a lot of times here, you can actually activate this to search for the Azets. And then Azet is going to get us into our Rusia. So here, now we can synchro. And we can add back our Tails if we like that. And then chain links are going to go off. Usually chain link 1, chain link 2. I mean, doesn't really matter in testing, but like, again, whatever you want to chain block it. And now what we can do is we can add back this, or let's just, for example, let's just not add back this. Let's just add back. And then we will search with this. So this is going to search our dog. And you see how many times we're going through this card and we're not really activating it. You can if you want to for extending, acting, you know, adding extra bodies and stuff like that. But it's like, it's funny because this card literally just cycles through your deck and it's just like good resource looping. It's so good. Like, I got to draw off this card. I got a free send off this card. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really good in that regards. And you can set it as interruption or an extender. This card's really good. It's really good. So I think it is worth playing. And also the fact that it is a Sinful Spoils that you can, keep searching. Then this becomes live again and you can just, I don't know, just go crazy with it. Just go crazy with it. So anyway, so in this particular situation, you can actually do this with the Azet, but let's just do this first. So let's go Necroquip. I'm trying to make sure I have enough space for this. This is getting kind of cramped, you know. So let's see if the Necroquip thing works here. Actually, let's just not do Necroquip. Like, S is extra. There's lines where it makes sense to go into it, but I think I have way too many bodies in this particular situation. So let's just not Necroquip here, and we'll keep this on board. And we'll just have this, right? So fun fact, you can actually summon this, sending this, or you can send woes, doesn't really matter because it'll just reset itself. Then you'll go into this person. Then after that, we can do a lot of different things here. We can take these two and turn it into a sequence. And then we can still special summon this effect, sending this, then we draw a card, and then this is going to re-trigger and set itself. And then let's just go sequence effect. Sequence effect is going to return 1, 2, and 3. So we didn't use our engraver effect, which is really good because we had enough bodies. So now we keep Lacrima in the graveyard, which is like very important. And I'm gonna show why in a second. And then we go into this, and then we will go into our link 3, and then we can link off. Now what's funny is that sometimes you can actually send these two away to bring itself back out. We still have an extra body with this, with the, it's so many crazy things you can do. Like, it's so many things you can do here. So yeah, that's pretty much what the like combo lines will look like here. So I think in this particular situation, let's just link these two off, because I mean, obviously we don't have to, but it's funny you can bring this back out with the link 4. And then you could do something like this, and Necroquip honestly would have been fine here, which is, you know, hilarious because we did have enough space. This is why we test and stuff like that. We can actually have Necroquip here, and we wouldn't have Lacrima as follow-up, but I think having the extra draw and just having that card sitting here, we go her effect to summon back something, then we can draw off this, which we would have technically drawn into a toy box, which would have been insane, but whatever. I'm still labbing and learning this deck as we go along. Again, I immediately made version 2, went into like 2 games, and then I was like, all right, let me do some test hands and just show it on YouTube. So anyway, so yeah, you have that. And then again, I'm not sure we actually use this effect. I actually just been yapping this entire time, so I'm not sure if we did or not. And then again, we still have this to go into like something like this, and you'll think like this is not annoying, but the fact that I control 2 of these now, it's making my opponent's monsters 1,000 less, because like your opponent lose 500 attack and defense for each Azamina monster you control. That even includes her, which is really funny. So now my monsters are losing 1,000. My opponent monsters are losing 1,000. And also, if this card gets destroyed, it searches follow-up, which is going to be wanted, and you're just going to have like tons of follow-up. Plus this card in rotation is crazy. But yeah, you can do that. Like, again, no matter, it's just options, whatever you want to go for. And if you can think about it, you can get it, right? It's a really complex deck, and sequencing is extremely important. That's why this deck is like very difficult. But the fact it has so many options, it has so many ways you could play through tons of hand traps. You could be nib. Droll is really scary, but you can still end on the end board through Droll. It's just so many things you can do here. Like, you can even wait until your opponent's turn to activate her effect. And again, if you keep this, like, say for example, you keep this in the hand, you can actually use this as, you know, as cost, and it'll reset itself if you don't want to use it as like an interruption, just for more resources. You can actually Lacrima this on your opponent's turn. You can bring back, I don't know, like Black Witch. So like, you don't even have to use her effect. Like even something like, oops, put Black Witch back. Even something like, let's say like you don't even activate her effect, right? Like you just pass on something like this. I mean, you probably won't. You want to maximize on your inboard, but let's say you just pass with this, right? And then you go on your opponent's turn, you activate her effect. You let's just say this is set, right? This is set. And then we put her in the banish by discarding, let's just say this, right? Because it's gonna bring us up back anyway. Who cares? And we summon that our Black Witch. Our Black Witch is gonna set this. Oh, by the way, Deception is back because we're ending, so this is also set here. So we have that, and then you can actually activate the effect of Lacrima. Lacrima is going to summon this out on your opponent's turn, and having like that access to like Desiree anytime, like it's so funny. So you even have something like this. If this is live, you can actually fusion into, let's say for example, we can take like, let's say Desiree uses effect already, right? Just for more interruptions, you can use this. Say like this got Baylor imperm, it doesn't matter, it uses effect because now you can actually put like this up here, so obviously you know you have more space, and then you activate this, sending off the Desiree and that, and then you can go to another interruption, not fair, another interruption for that, right? So like layers. Again, I will be producing more video or more combos and stuff with this deck. I mean, Orlando is in like the next couple of months or whatever, in February, I guess a month from now. I don't know the exact dates, but I know I had that day off, or that weekend off, so I can go. Yeah, we are going to keep pushing, and we're gonna make this deck stronger. But I like this so much better than my first version that we're only gonna just make this deck better as we continue and learn better matchups and stuff like that. But let me guys know what you guys think down below. Sorry for the long video, but there's a lot of explaining and stuff like that, and I want you guys to see like my ideas for how I want to end on my deck and how it can go through a lot of interruptions, how to combo through certain things, and what I'm looking for when it comes to making a board. And hopefully I have some replays for you guys so you guys can see how this deck plays in action. So let me guys know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so we are on our way there, which thank you guys so much for all the support and stuff in that. So yes guys, catch you in the next one. Antayami signing out.